what a game. First of all, really good opponent in Oregon State. Knew it would be that type of game. Knew the style of play they wanted to come in with, and obviously the weather was something that both teams had to overcome. Just proud of the way our guys continue to just play, and at the end, ended up being really nice. But that was a grind, and guys just finding a way to win. So coming through when it matters most. We've done that a few times now.
The first half, you could have gone into the locker room with just giving up 3 points. That little offside kind of extended their drive. How does it take to refocus and kind of get those penalties out of the way?
Yeah, really on defense, that was the kind of the key thing. I think 3 times, just the short little defensive offsides. So, those are disappointing because, we're talking about it, and even at halftime, just like that's the one thing that's kept their drive alive. So, got to do a better job, when we're in that moment. And, penalties were really the thing, maybe one here and there that stopped us offensively too. The one at the end of the beginning of the third quarter. Disappointed, we didn't get any points. That was a tough one to swallow right there.
Was this a real gut check for your defense? It seemed like guys either didn't play or played partially, didn't come back, did come back. It seemed like you were missing a lot of guys.
Yeah, it really was. I know that one drive had to been right around 16 plays. I may be off a little bit there, but that one, when you see just the wear and tear of the guys, you know that in the fourth quarter, those are sometimes things that come back to haunt you. But we just couldn't get the first down going. We couldn't get the offense on point there until the very end. But they just did a good job, defense hanging in there. The entire half, really, and just playing the next down. And sooner or later, a guy rotating in and going to make a play, tackle for a loss. We know that if we got them behind the chains, that's an area that they did not want to be in. That's a position they're not comfortable with, having to drop back and pass. Their backs were tough to bring down, but our guys just kept fighting. And, we didn't give up the big one that goes for 6, I guess, when I think about their running backs, which they've done a lot against other teams. And so we just lined up, made them play another down by getting them on the ground.
Did you game plan around the prospect of rain, and did the weather affect the way you guys called offensive plays?
We definitely, you're always thinking of a couple, or not a couple, but you definitely have some things in the plan. And I think our plan usually has that naturally, just control passes, the run game. I think it was really a matter of seeing if we could handle the rain, and I thought there were times we did a really good job. The balls that were, maybe off the body, those were the toughest ones. I can think of some high balls that, were good throws. And Mike was having no problem really spinning it. It was just a matter of reeling it in. But, there's some times too where it paid off when you think about the touchdown to Rome in the left corner of the end zone in the first half. Just letting guys go make plays, big body receivers, and their tough matchups. And, that's a strength of ours versus maybe not that it's a weakness, but just a good matchup in general for us. So, we have that stuff built in. Even the last play, there's different options that we can do with that play. Really, the rain had subsided by that time, but those are the type of plays we had in the game plan.
You guys had a third down to ice the game there where it's 3rd and 3, and you go back shoulder to Rome, which was a risk, but also, like you said, that's your bread and butter. So what went into, I guess, just the faith in both of those guys to know that this isn't a typical 3rd and 3 call per se, but that's going to win the game.
Yeah, well, thank goodness they didn't have to put us in a 4th and 3, right? They made the play just like they've always done, came through. There's other options on that play, and very similar to, I guess, the Oregon game, where you have something to one side of the field, and Mike can always take that. It's a very high percentage play for us. Probably even could have got the first down there, but him just knowing, knowing your personnel, knowing your guy, and them just being so much in tune and on the same page. We see that really about 90% of the time. 95% of the time in practice. So to me, it's not a crapshoot whether you're going to make that play. It's just a big guy with a big catch radius in Rome, and Michael knowing exactly where to put it, and as long as the line gives him a free look to be able to see where the defender's at and see, have time to read it, he's going to make that throw.
On Oregon State's last drive, Dylan Johnson was kind of hobbling around on the sidelines, and then he went back in, had a couple of nice runs. Can you talk a little bit about Dylan? He doesn't feel good right now.
Yeah, I don't know even what that injury is, specifically what it is. So I did see him hobbling like you did. So yeah, Will had to come in there, and but one of those plays I think he would have been in no matter what, just with the personnel grouping we wanted. But yeah, hopefully we can get him, back to 100% here soon.
You got a
lost-
big,
Go ahead.
you got a big rivalry game next week, obviously, but I mean, do you stop and acknowledge with the team that you've secured a spot in the Pac-12 championship game?
Yeah, I just congratulated the guys just now, in the locker room. It's just, you're not backdooring into a championship game. You're just going in and outright, claiming a spot. And that's, I know there's a bigger picture piece to everything that we're trying to accomplish too. But, the first box is checked, and that you can't win it unless you get there. And I'm really proud. And that's one of our goals that we set forth, when we start the season January 3rd, is to win a Pac-12 championship. And so, you have to enjoy it. Otherwise, what's the journey about if you just can't for a moment enjoy what's happening and what you're a part of. So, the guys are excited. They're celebrating in there a little bit, but I can honestly say that it's not some crazy off the wall celebration. They know that there's more business to take care of, and I'm proud of the way we'll get ready to play and finish this regular season off.
But I feel like people probably try to nitpick and find reasons why maybe you guys aren't as good as your record says, all these close games and whatnot, but you keep beating these ranked teams and it's 5 now. What do you think you're showing just how?
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we just played 3 back-to-back teams that were ranked at that time, 2 of them on the road, right? I just, and different styles. I mean, you got a team that's got a Heisman quarterback, you got that's high-flying offense, you got a team that is physical on both sides of the ball. Last week, really well coached. I mean, they're the Pac-12 champions 2-time. And so, they're just, I don't know. I'm sure there is someone that's got a schedule as tough as ours here in the back half, but, we're just playing, ball against some really good opponents and finding a way to get it done. And you can get nitpicky on this and is it quite good enough or that's not quite good enough, but let's talk about our strengths. Let's talk about what we do well, and I think there's a lot of things that we do well as a football team, and we've shown that's going to continue to be the case. So I just think there's just so many different types of teams that we've played, and we found a way to win them all.
You lost Tupatala pretty early, and Carson Brenner had to play almost the whole football game. Could you talk about those 2 situations?
Raylan, you mean early?
Well, did Tupatala go down?
He didn't even suit up.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't even suit up. So Zoe, wasn't available tonight. Just hopefully we can get him back for next week. We probably know more at the beginning of the week. But I know Raylan went down early, and so all of a sudden you go from a position that's really got the most depth, probably healthy depth in our team, to guys having to gut it out, and we know what those backs look like out there. They got some really good running backs, and include the quarterback too, DJ, with the run game, and it takes a toll. Those guys just lining up every play and having to bring it. So I'm proud of Eddie and Carson. Even Raylan, gutting it out a little bit too, and being ready to go if needed. So
Was Jalen McMillan's usage tonight the plan, or did you expect to use him more or less? Or?
yeah, I think there's certainly more, especially when it comes to targets. That you think you can get. And I think it really came down to a little bit with the weather, maybe, just on where the ball ended up going, and what the continuity kind of developed. And Jalen's so good at third downs and really picking apart the underneath stuff. I think there were some times where some of those tight window throws and Mike's got to snap it off. I don't want to speak for him. Maybe he wasn't quite comfortable with some of those. You'd just rather throw those inside fades and fade balls to the outside guys, and things that are away from the defenders, so that way you're not risking tip balls and balls that end up in the wrong hands. So did a nice job there at the end of the half, I thought. Getting the ball to the outside, Westover and Giles Jackson, catch the balls and fighting for some yards, and then of course the touchdown to Rome. But we know Jalen's going to be a huge part of this as we go through the rest of the final run here. And you know, every day that he's out here, every rep he takes, he's continuing to get stronger. I can see it in practice all week that he's getting to be more and more what we know Jalen to be.
You've had some pretty special moments with Zion. There at the end of the game, you guys shared a good laugh. Have you kind of, since his father's passing, have you kind of felt that relationship really grow?
Yeah, I mean, I think our relationship's been really strong since, for quite a while. I mean, over a year. He knows how much I appreciate him, and vice versa. So, just it's fun to, you know, it's a different feel and than it was a few weeks ago. But man, I watched him many times out there today and just giving everything he has. And you know, again, his commitment to this team is elite.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah. Dylan Johnson is now at 879 yards in the season. What can you say about his improvement from the start of the year in terms of health or, you know?
Yeah, it starts with his health. You know, Dylan's health, I think especially here the last half of the season, has really come along. He's worked hard to get himself in a really elite shape, you know, and just, you know, there's hard yards, especially on the one drive at the beginning where he converted some short yardage or third down looks there and falling ahead to the sticks to give us a new set of downs. So, man, he's just a huge part of our team right now offensively. You know, the success we're having, a lot of it depends on him, you know, being able to be that physical runner. And then the O-line, understanding if they can just give him a crack and a seam, he'll find a way. You know, they did a nice job on that one long run. I know he ended up turning it over, but we got it back soon, and then that field position changing was big for us there.
All right.
Good.